the top games at TantrumCon 2023. Thank you for joining me here at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Today's video is going to be about games at TantrumCon, which just happened a few days ago. I'm going to divide this video into 3 different categories: play to wins, hot games, and then games checked out from the TantrumCon library. All right, let's start first with the play to wins. So if you're not familiar with this is a area in our convention where companies donate games and people can just play them throughout the convention, and they sign up, said that they played them at the end of the convention. We randomly choose a person that signed up on that game and they'll win it. So it's a random person, and we had over about 87 games that were donated to that play to win area. And there were games like the Crew Mission Deep Sea, there was Chronicles of Crime 1400, Luna Capital, but the top games, the ones that were played the most, I guess in this order, they had to be played over 40 times. So Bristol, 1350, Ecosystem, Coral Reef, then Marvel Dice Throne, Gartenbau, that was from one of our exhibitors, 25th Century, donated that. Catastrophe, those were all in the 40s. And then we have, none in the 50s, but then we have a couple in the 60s. We have Kites from Floodgate Games, plays pretty quick, so that's probably why it got played a lot. Furnace from Arcane Wonders. And then there was Gasha, that was played 70 times. Most of these are probably different people playing them, but I guess you could play it more than once and sign back up for it. And then the number 1 game in the play to win area that got checked out the most at 94 times was Cat in the Box from Bezier Games, and they also were an exhibitor at TantrumCon. So there's what the play to wins, some of the favorite games on there that people played. Now, let's move on to the hot games area. This is, I think, something new that we've not done before, but other conventions have done this, or they do this, where they have an area in the convention space where it's dedicated to hot games that are really popular, and they just sort of keep those games set out the whole convention time, and people can go there, play the game, reset it up for another group to come and play it as well. So we had 8 different games that were set up in that area. We had, actually I have a couple of them here. We had Evergreen. This is from Horrible Guild. That was a hot game. Well, actually, that was one of the games I saw being played a lot. We had Mists over Carcassonne. This is a standalone game in the Carcassonne series. This is not an expansion. This is a co-op version of Carcassonne. Another one that got played a bunch, and we actually had to take it down because we were running out of sheets where people could play it, was Turing Machine from Scorpion Mask and Hachette. Another hot game that we had out for the whole time was Starship Captains from CGE. We're going to have Melissa and I are working on a review video of this one, so we'll be getting that out shortly. Speaking of hot games, we had Flamecraft. I would say this is probably, out of all 8, probably one of the ones that was played the most. Flamecraft, this is from Cardboard Alchemy, and I believe Lucky Duck Games has also helped. Yep, Lucky Duck Games is working on distributing this as well. A worker placement game with cute little dragons. And in that same hot category is Heat, Pedal to the Metal. I was actually able to introduce a couple of these as I had time to players, and it seemed like Heat was really fun to pick up and play. It's easy to get into as you are basically just playing numbered cards and to move your car around the track. There's a lot more going into that, but managing your heat in the game, been really fun introducing this racing game to players, to people there, to attendees at TantrumCon. The other ones that were on the list that were in the hot games area was My Shelfie and Dice Manor from Arcane Wonders. So Heat, Flamecraft, Turing Machine, My Shelfie, Starship Captains, Dice Manor, Mist over Carcassonne, and Evergreen. Some hot games. And yeah, it seemed like people really enjoyed having those available to play throughout the whole convention. All right, but now let's move into the games that were checked out, the top games checked out of the TantrumCon library. We have over 1,100 games in the TantrumCon library. Actually, we're going to do 11 top games here. So we have Trekking Through History. Then we have The Search for Lost Species. I think Trekking Through History probably looks like it is easy for people to understand and get playing into the game. Search for Lost Species, I think that one was picked because actually ours is a prototype copy, Search for the Lost Species, and it's not really available. So we put that in the library as something that people could pick up and play, and it seemed like people were enjoying that. It's very similar to Search for Planet X, and you can check out our video of both of those games on our channel. In the number 9 spot, we have Wingspan. So this is actually an older game, Wingspan, that still has lots and lots of love. So I'm sure it's something where people are like, what do you want to play? And they're just like, hey, I know how to play Wingspan. If maybe someone hasn't played it before, one of their friends, they can just introduce it. And yeah, so Wingspan in the number 9 spot. Furnace, that was actually, I believe, yeah, that was actually on the top games in the Play to Win area. So people were not only playing it from the Play to Win area, but they were also playing it from the library as well. So played lots of times at TantrumCon. I think the reason it gets played a lot, it's easy to play this sort of engine building type game. Fantasy Realms, number 7. Fantasy Realms from WizKids. This was actually one of the tournaments as well at TantrumCon. So people might have played it at the tournament. A tournament at TantrumCon is basically an event where people can sign up to have a meal and also play a game, learn a game. And these companies sponsor giving copies of the game away to random people at that event. So not only could you play a game and eat a meal together with friends and be taught the game, which I think is really important, but you could also have a chance to get the game and take it home. And maybe people were enjoying it so much that they were able to check it out from the library and share it with more people at TantrumCon. Number 6 was Caper Europe. Caper Europe is a 2-player game, and Caper Europe is from Keymaster. And Keymaster Games was also an exhibitor at TantrumCon. And I'm sure that might be one of the reasons that Caper Europe got checked out. Maybe they saw it being played in the exhibit hall, or maybe they were taught it and they're like, yeah, let's go play it. So they checked it out from the library. Number 5, Ark Nova, a very popular game that has recently come out. At a convention, sometimes you're playing those bigger games. I know I was able to play a game of Rising Sun. I'm not able to play those bigger games sometimes a lot because it takes a little bit longer time to play, and you need to get the right number of people together to play it. But Ark Nova was on the list at number 5. Number 4, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Now we actually had a werewolf hallway in our event space, and Katie Pills on our teams decorated it all up with these cool trees and werewolf theme, and they actually had events on there, but this is actually separate. So they had events where they were playing werewolf, but also people were just checking out the game One Night Ultimate Werewolf, maybe some late night gaming there. In the number 3 spot, we have Terracotta Army from Board and Dice. Terracotta Army, boy, I don't even know where it is. Somewhere in the house here, but Terracotta Army is a fun worker placement area control type game, and it's newer, and I assume that's probably one of the reasons that was checked out a bunch from the library. Number 2 was Boop. Boop is a 2-player game where you are having little wooden cat meeples and you're sort of area control or booping them off the bed, pushing them off the bed, trying to get the most on there. And this was actually, not only did we have a tournament with this, but we actually had Scott Brady, who was the designer, and his wife Nicole was there as well. Enjoyed having them as part of TantrumCon as special guests and media. But Scott was there, and I assume not only, I don't think it's really available yet, or just becoming available, and we got some early release copies at TantrumCon, so I think that's probably one of the reasons Boop was played a bunch at TantrumCon. Splendor Duel was the #1 spot. Splendor Duel, which is actually right there. Splendor Duel. Not only did we have this in the checkout library, we actually had another copy in the Play to Win area. So people were not only playing it in the Play to Win area, but they were also checking it out from the TantrumCon library. So those were a list of 11 games that were checked out the most at the TantrumCon library. I know that's not even a portion of the number of games or the types of games or what games were actually all played at TantrumCon. I saw Teletum. I saw Teletum played a bunch. I saw Lacrimosa played a bunch. I saw some of the big games, like I said, Rising Sun. I saw so many fun games. I played Project L with Derek and Lizzie Funkhauser. They were there and played some demos. We had people bring in their prototypes, got to play Turtanog with Isaac Shalev, which I believe is coming to GameFound soon. Played lots of games. But I believe we're going to do a video. Tantrum House Crew is going to do a video of some of our favorite games from February, and I think we will include some of our favorite games that we played at TantrumCon, in addition to the favorite new game that we played in February. But anyway, just wanted to give you a little sneak peek, a little hint of what's coming from the crew. So look forward to that. We did it last month for our favorite games in January, and we're going to do it again for our favorite games in February. So look forward to that video. If you were at TantrumCon and you played some of these games, let me know down in the comments. And if you didn't come to TantrumCon, you need to come next year. We'll get information about that as soon as we know. Thanks for watching, and let's spread the love of board gaming.